I'm in the network options for my wireless access point network, and one of the things that we can choose under options for our Aruba network will be the radio. So by default, it's going to be 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Now this is great in a mixed environment where you have older and newer equipment. However, the only downside to this is that when you broadcast in both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, you end up splitting the antennas and making the overall experience slower. So if you only have older equipment that just uses 2.4 gigahertz, then go ahead and choose that option. Or if you have 5 gigahertz type devices, then choose that one. The advantage to 5 gigahertz is that it is faster. However, it does not pass through walls as easily as, say, 2.4 gigahertz, which also doesn't really pass through walls very well either. However, it does bounce around between various different walls and locations until it gets to its device much further than 5 gigahertz will. However, it is going to be a slower connection. You can check the box to extend that 2.4 gigahertz range as well. That will make the speed even slower, but it will allow the range to go much further. And this works out great if you have no line of sight. So line of sight basically means that your device can see the wireless access point. When you don't have that, it has to bounce off of a whole bunch of different locations, such as walls and doors and windows, until it finally gets to that location where it needs to connect to the device. So by extending it, then you can go ahead and have your wireless access point clients be much further away, but the people that are much closer will also experience slower connections. Another disadvantage to using 2.4 gigahertz is that some devices like microwaves also run at this 2.4 gigahertz frequency. And if you end up with a lot of different issues with people, say, in a lunchroom or in a kitchen, then that could cause some problems where you can go ahead and switch over to 5 gigahertz only if you have the devices that support it. Radio frequency is a crucial decision. However, you can make changes to it if necessary.